Okay, welcome to this
Welcome.
Wednesday meditation day. It is now 3:09 and we are going to do a 30-minute, little bit of a talk and then a meditation. What I wanted to discuss today was very much as I love Tony Robbins and I am blown away by the level of mastery that he creates when giving his lectures and indeed trying to go back on his toes as to how to, as he calls it, the comeback challenge, right, for the next 7 days. And that got me thinking a lot because I always relate everything that's happening to the moment. We cannot control the
Yeah.
past and we cannot control the future because that one is gone. And I love this expression that in psychology they say that if you are depressed, is because you're living in the past. If you have anxiety, is because you're living in the future. And so I welcome you to think about that because it makes a lot of sense, right? If you think of those moments in your life. And then I'm going to juxtaposition that alongside of our ego, our monkey mind. And so I was having a session this morning with a couple of people, and yesterday too, as a matter of fact, and I kept hearing the name Sarah. And it turns out that the woman who I was doing the session with today, yesterday I worked with the mom, today I work with the daughter, right? Well, today the daughter goes, yeah, Sarah's my grandmother's name, the mother of this woman that I worked with yesterday, who was in major anxiousness. She's got a condition where she cannot swallow. In Chinese medicine, it's called plum pit. You feel like you have a pit
Wow.
of plum stuck in your throat. But what it really evokes is, if we look at all the points around the neck, these are called the windows of the soul. And if you look at it from that context, if you're not breathing in and out properly, of course you're going to have this sort of blockage, let's call it, from here up. I, in the best way I could, went over different points like, hey, Gu, this is large intestine 4. If you massage this in tiny little circles, it really does help to unblock headaches, earaches, maybe sinus issues, maybe even eyesight issues, anything that has to do even with the salivary canal or glands, to put it this way, because she's experiencing a lot of dry mouth, but that really has to do with the fact that she is on ever-changing synthroid and different types of, how can I say this? Well, different types of things that pharmaceutical medicines is what I'm trying to say here politely. So when you get into that sense, then you're going to feel blocked. See what I did there? Anyway, so I don't know if you heard this or not, but in psychology, Tony Robbins says that 80% of our mindset has to do with 80% of our psychology, what our belief systems are, what we're really thinking. And I'm bringing this woman up because, plainly put, I'm so appreciative that I get to work with her and her family, and I really do love what I do, as you know, and I connect all the dots, if you will. Around this point, Madame Blavatsky used to speak a lot about this sort of, what's it called? The Great White Lodge, which were, let's call them, uh, ascended beings that knew more in these moments. And so today I decided to go into the shamanic soul retrieval realm with the knowledge of the psychology, because if 80% is our psychology, guess what? You're not going to have great psychology if you don't have great emotions, if you don't have great, again, my four-legged table disciplines that I do. Where are your emotions? Where's your spirituality? Where's your psychology? And where's your physicalness? If you're not moving, if you're not exercising, that goes back to the psychology, that 80%. But if your emotions are being blocked, or you're in anxiety or depression, you really can't name that emotion. You have to go into your universe, which is what we're going to do next. Okay. And so, and obviously, let us not leave the spiritual section, which is coming back to that name, Sarah. I kept hearing it was really, really amazing. And why I share this, because when you align yourself to the universe, it aligns itself with you. And you hear this all the time. In this case, this woman's mom kept coming in through the session. And thereafter, I worked with a 10-year-old, and the name Sarah kept coming up again. And I said, do you know anyone named Sarah? And she's like, oh yeah, my teacher. Not really getting along with the teacher. The teacher doesn't seem to guide her correctly. And more importantly, I guess the teacher's not in the role of a teacher. She's in a very open school environment, kind of like a la Waldorf, and not feeling that she's being supported. So I said, okay, we're going to go over these things to avoid arguments. I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain about her to anyone in your class. Okay. Give her appreciation. Say, wow, I'm really appreciative that, you know, you're doing this, or I'm grateful that you're doing whatever it is. And then show a genuine, eager interest towards something that she has going on. I'm saying those 3 things, and I'm tying all these things together because now we are going to go into our meditation, and we're going to sort of focus on how do we give ourselves appreciation. How do we really not condemn or complain, or just really criticize ourselves? We're excellent at criticizing ourselves. And then, of course, what interests do we have that we haven't taken a look at, and how do we add it into our daily routine? Okay, with that being said, I am going to put our timer on. I'm going to ask you to put the tip of the tongue behind the teeth and the gum line, and breathe in through your nose and out through the mouth. I'm exaggerating it. You would do this more gently, and you can choose to put your hands on your lap or hands down. I like the hands down idea because if you notice, if your hand is sort of on your knee, this goes to the spleen meridian. This is the lung meridian. This is the large intestine, but it goes into the liver meridian, into the stomach meridian, into the kidney meridian. All of the meridians sort of connect, is what I'm trying to say. And again, in Chinese medicine, meridians are channels that flow energy through the fingertips and through the feet and go into the body and all around. Okay, so we're going to breathe in and out. You choose to do what you will, and we're going to put our intent. How do we not criticize, condemn, and complain about ourselves and others? Again, how do we give appreciation, and really, really, how do we share an eager interest in other people and not be so myopic, my way, not your way, but say, let us open this up to the universe, and let us bring in the universe energy, our power animals, whatever you've got, and I'll see you on the other side. So everybody, if you could close your eyes, breathe in through your nose, and gently breathing out through your mouth. And as you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, become aware of all the sounds around you. Allow all the sounds around you to become part of you, including the sound of my voice. Let it resonate in your vibrational field. Let our hearts connect. Let our minds disengage. Imagining the beat of the sound that is within your heart, the pulse, the flushing, the swooshing of your blood circulating in and out of your heart. And as it circulates in and out of your heart, imagine that this blood circulates through your circulatory system, down your legs, down into your arms and every single one of your fingertips, down to your toes, of course, in the legs, coming back up. And imagine this blood going in and out in your spinal cord, going up into your brain, into your pineal gland to be exact. Imagine that your pineal gland is becoming filled with this beautiful blood that is pure love within our hearts. And imagine that it sort of lights up this antenna, if you will, this circular energy antenna that starts to vibrate, going in into the rest of your brain, all the way filling the entirety of your skull, the entirety of your head, the entirety of your shoulders, chest, waist, hips, legs, all the way down to your toes. And imagine you are now in a big circle of auric frequency light. And the circle expands wider and wider. As we expand wider and wider, we are safe, we are secure, and we put our intent of the highest good for everyone on the planet. And I want you to imagine that as the sphere of light gets wider and wider, the sphere of light starts to bring healing to everyone around you, everyone in your vicinity for now, then your city, then your state, then your continent. Imagine that this sphere of light fills the planet now, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger, passing all the planets in our solar system, including our sun. And it keeps expanding wider and wider and wider, knowing you are safe and you can only attract that which is in your highest good when you vibrate and you say, only all frequency, matter, energy that is here to help all of humanity and all living, breathing forms in all other solar systems. I welcome you into my sphere. I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and I connect with you now. As you keep breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, remembering all you are is your breath. And with our breath, we can travel to any dimension, connecting to all of the ethers, connecting in unconditional love, remembering that all of the ethers and all of the living, breathing things are that which we call our highest good, our higher power, our God, Allah, or whatever you call it that is in your realm. I want you to expand that definition. It is the infinite universal energy of pure love. And each one of us is a part of that energy. And because we're all part of that energy, we are in perfect health. If we are made in God's perfect image, we have just forgotten through our ego, through our obstacles, through our matrix, that we are divine in every way. Feel the energy in this big, beautiful, energetic sphere of healing light and love. And because you are with me here today, I'm sending energy to that part of your body that has been giving you a problem these days. I'm sending you pure, unconditional love. I want you to imagine that there's a whole bunch of tiny little cell workers inside you. And they go to that area like tiny little soldiers. And they start to chip away at any condition that you no longer need. Imagine that it's sort of chipped away and it just falls, and it falls down to the ground, down to the center of Mother Earth. As she recycles it because she knows what to do with any negative energy, recycling it. And keep doing this on your own. And then imagine that it goes back up through your feet or through your spine, and any part of your body is healed. I will stay quiet now while we do this work. I want you to imagine now that with the bells, it was angels singing in our ears, and that we decrease this big ball of energy from the outermost universe as if there were an ending to it. And we start to bring the ball in, bringing it smaller, smaller into the solar system, smaller into our planet, smaller into our city, and small into the auric field that we are. We can make it go smaller and go back into our heart, but remember, it's sort of like a rubber band, and you can stretch it out whenever you need protection in these next coming days during this intense lunar eclipse. Some of you may know that Neptune is in retrograde, and a lot of negative things can look like they're happening, but remember to ask yourself, what's the gift in this for me? So we have a few minutes, and do you want to share anything?
felt good. Thank you. Thank
Anything
you
else?
for, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, no, thank you for all sending all the love and all the healing. It was really pleasant meditation. I I expanded. I felt good. I did something different. I went in. A lot of times when I'm meditating, I'm afraid I make the accident of thinking it's out there. And then I'm
Right.
trying to meditate, like it needs to be here. So, but no, it's in. You're going in
Verse. Yes.
the innerverse, and the answers are all in there. And then I felt way more connected, and that from that perspective, I could help heal other people better.
Exactly.
I was
Because our innerverse is our outerverse. It's
right,
two sides of the same coin. It does this like the DNA molecule. Two
right.
sides of the same coin.
The DNA, which I was researching this morning, I was listening to a Bruce Lipton speech about DNA,
Yes.
and but yeah, it's out there. With all due respect, out there is the lie, in here is the truth,
The
and
truth is
that's where all the
here, but we
connection
project it.
lies. Right.
Yes.
So I felt very connected.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I would then one more thing to share. I was imagining, this is just my imagination, almost a grim reaper like of skeleton holographically coming and just kind of dragging the dead parts of myself, like of my hologram, just kind of hauling it out away, like
Right.
you had said, kind of down to the center of the earth, just reaching, grabbing, pulling, and that was nice too.
That's awesome.
And I
Oh,
felt close with that skeleton. It wasn't death. It was, the skeleton was not death. It was
yeah.
life.
It's never ending energy. Exactly. I think that's beautiful. I love today. I mean, I guess because of the intensity of it just being you and I today, it was
Mm-hmm.
very balanced energy. And the entire time I was able to throw so much amethyst light on the entirety of the universe. I got
Mm,
a couple of messages, and that was really wonderful. At the end of the day, we look at the planet as in, we're in June, right? So it's
mm,
when the sun goes, I mean, that's so funny. The planet goes around the sun, so it goes higher and then lower. So that's the break in the middle of the months. But I'm just trying to all of this to how do we continuously change our mindset? Every single year, we're going to have different seasons. And within the seasons, ups and downs will always come. And yeah, on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Our time is up, but I look forward to seeing you next time.
mhm.
Thank you.